All right, let's do this. Got my ammo, got my guns. Welcome to Firearms of America. Today, as you guys can see, I'm out here in Shooters in Fort Myers, Florida, about to do not just a regular review. Today, I'm actually doing a comparison review. Comparison of two very popular at the very moment concealed carry options out there. Two handguns, and I have them over here. We got the Sig Sauer P365 X, yes, X, a little bit of extended version. In this one we got 12+1 capacity is chambered in 9mm 3.1 inch barrel. And we also have a very popular Springfield Hellcat. Check this out. This one is actually 13+1 chambered in 9mm 3-inch barrel, although the difference between the two is barely noticeable in barrel length. So let's take out the magazines, put some rounds into these, do some shooting, and then we'll try to see which one is the better option out of two, because both of them seem to be pretty good. So we got our Sig Sauer magazine over here. Check this out. It's only numbered 5 and 12, double stacked. Jeez, can't talk today like usual. We got the black follower, and let's see how easy it is to load. Fairly simple to load, no problems over here. Like I said, tapered top. And today I actually have, besides you viewers watching my video, today I have one very special viewer, probably the most special viewer that I can possibly have ever. Sorry guys, it's my daughter over here watching watching as I'm doing the review. Actually 2 minutes where she's at over there. In 2 minutes it's gonna be the next day, yes, and she's gonna actually turn 12 years old. So in exactly 2 minutes I'm gonna be singing some happy birthday to her over there. I don't know, it's almost 12 o'clock and she's eating dinner. It's a little too late, I don't know. Anyway, back to the magazine of the Springfield Hellcat. Check this out. This one is nicely numbered all the way to 13. Yes, now, Sig Sauer, this is how you number the magazines. Check this out. Also tapered at the very top, also black follower, and actually a little bit easier to load compared to the Sig Sauer magazine. So check this out, this comparison between the two. Very similar. A little bit, tiny little bit thicker magazine on the, although, you know what, my eyes may be playing tricks on me, but it looks a little bit thicker compared to the Sig Sauer. So, got our Hellcat, Sig Sauer. Let's start with the Sig. 5 rounds, and we got, as you can see, fresh target over there. Let's see, I'll try to hit that white circle in the very middle. Check this out. All right, so let's do some shooting, and then we'll do some happy birthday singing. Let's do it. Okay. Oh yeah, almost bullseye. Not bad. Hellcat. Huh. Okay. All right. So, couple of things before I forget while I'm fresh on my memory, right? That's how bad my memory is. The Hellcat. It is a little bit tighter. You can tell that the spring is a little bit tighter in the guide rod, so it's a little bit harder to rack the slide compared to the Sig Sauer. Sig Sauer is just a little bit smoother, a little bit easier, but you can definitely notice the difference in the recoil management because the recoil is lighter in the Springfield compared to the Sig Sauer, and obviously that's with the heavier guide rod. That's really what you are going to get. Now let's start from the very beginning, and we're going to actually talk about the grips, the aggression of the grips, because they look very similar. Let me double check, make sure that there's nothing here, and check this out. They look very similar both of them try to do that, mimic that hand stippling with the laser, which I like in mass production guns. Obviously, then it never is going to be as good as a hand stippled grip, but still, you know, as good as it can get. Okay, I think it's time to sing Happy Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Adelina. Happy birthday to you. Woo! Your microphone is off. You want to say something on camera, Adelina? No? All right. Well, let me finish up with this review. So, back to the grip. Okay, check this out. So on this one, on the Hellcat, on the Springfield Hellcat, we have, they're both very similar. But over here, it's just a little bit, it doesn't feel as aggressive as on the Sig Sauer. And honestly, I prefer the Sig Sauer grip much, much more. First of all, ergonomically, it's much nicer. As you can see, there's like a little finger groove over here, and I love those finger grooves. And here it just matches the shape of, you know, of your grip very, very well, but also you have overall better aggression. This is just this polymer feels a little bit more glassy, so it bites into your hand a little bit better. Not a little bit, actually quite a lot better compared to the Hellcat. Now, don't get me wrong, this is not bad grip on the Hellcat at all. Ergonomically, as you can see, very similar. It has a similar kind of finger groove, not as refined, not as defined as on the Sig Sauer, but just the aggression-wise, it's just not enough. Not enough aggression in my opinion. Now, speaking of the aggression, it also has, as you can see, some stippling over here at the very front, kind of for the gas pedal effect, so you can have that sort of grip, which is great, but because it's a little bit too slippery, it's just not enough. Now, the Sig Sauer does not have that, so well done, Springfield, for implementing that. I wish Sig Sauer had that because it just would feel much better. Okay, so let's move on further. We're moving on to the mag release now. As you can see, the mag release buttons, they are you know, a little bit different in shape. They both feel very well. The Springfield button is a little bit lower profile compared to the Sig Sauer. And I would say I do like the Sig Sauer button just a little bit more, just because it sticks out quite a bit more than the Springfield, so it's easier to catch it, and overall the surface is in this triangular shape. I think it's kind of more intuitive compared to this, where it kind of sits flat at the beginning of the frame, and as it goes out, it extends. Now, there's nothing on the front of the trigger guard on the Springfield. There's nothing on the front of the trigger guard on the Sig Sauer. I wish both of them had some serrations at the front for aggression. Just because it's a micro compact gun, would be nice to have just in case if your hands are too big. Sometimes you can implement this sort of grip, but because there is no aggression, you can't unless you stipple it. But whatever, we're not gonna talk. We're not gonna give any suggestions to these guys at YouTube. They get nervous about stuff like that. Okay, so let's put some 5 more rounds in both of these guns, and we will talk about the more important stuff, although I have to say grip is very important, because if you master the recoil, if you become the master of the recoil management of your handgun, you really become as good as you can be. I mean, all you have to do is understand the recoil, on your handgun, understand the trigger, and understand the sights on your handgun. And this is what we are gonna talk about later. Now, I have to say I do like the magazine much more on the Springfield Hellcat, but so far my preference would be going to the Sig Sauer. Let's do some 5 more rounds shooting, and we'll see. Let's see which target I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the yellow now for the 6 Sauer, and I'm gonna do this bottom orange for the Hellcat, just to see which group would be better. All right. Bullseye. All right. Now, bottom orange for the Hellcat. As you can see, just pretty much very similar groups of both of them. I hit twice the bottom and I hit twice at the top, but the 6 Sauer was just a little bit of a tighter group on both. Now again, it's not necessarily any indication about the guns. It's probably more indication about how terrible of a shot I am. But let's talk about the important stuff, the triggers. Okay, so check out the trigger on the 6 Sauer. Okay, so we have, if you're familiar with the new 6 Sauer series, whether it's P365 or P320, they have that very kind of a plasticky feel of the trigger. They're very easy to get used to, but some people are kind of turned off with that plasticky feel. Just saying out there, just don't be surprised if you're getting one of these. So we have about 5 millimeters, maybe even a little bit more, maybe 6 millimeters of very safe, familiar travel. And then we have about unpredictable maybe 2 millimeters, and then crisp break. Now, going to the Springfield Hellcat, we have that pre-trigger here. This is probably one of the bigger differences between the two. We have this little pre-trigger, kind of like a safe action, kind of like on the Glock safe action, basically drop safe protection. And so that gives you kind of psychological feel before you put your finger on the trigger. And then we have about 5 millimeters, maybe 4.5, a little bit less than on the 6 Sauer. And then a little bit unpredictable, again about 2 millimeters, and then a crisp break. So very similar triggers whenever it comes to the feel. Very similar pull. The biggest difference would be the pre-trigger. Do you like the pre-trigger? Well, if you do like the pre-trigger, then you're gonna appreciate the Hellcat. If you don't like the pre-trigger, which again, it's kind of on and off. Personally, for me, I'd probably say no pre-trigger on something concealed carry, something like this. So I'd probably still go with the 6 Sauer. Okay, let's move on to the slide release really quickly. Over here we have this is our 6 Sauer, and as you can see, it's a very small area, not much, and it's really not a slide release per se, it's more of a slide stop. So it's not one-hand operation. You actually have to pull the slide backwards in order to release it. Now with the Springfield, we have very similar slide release, not a lot of area to grip on it, but it sits a little bit back, a little bit further back compared to the Sig, which is great for guys like myself with small fingers, so I can actually reach it much easier. Another thing you probably noticed on the Springfield, as you can see, there's actually manual safety, which here is ambidextrous. Now the slide release is not ambidextrous on both of these handguns, but the safety here is. As you can see, it's very simple, and I'm gonna show it while we have it. Just flip it up. So basically, in order to disengage the safety, you flip this thing down and then you boom. Very simple, very intuitive. This is smart. So if you do like the manual safety, which I know a lot of you guys don't, but if you do, this is the kind of manual safety you want. That switches downwards, not upwards, downwards. Very important. Okay, let's move on to the slide now before we move on to the sides. As you can see, we have some serrations on the back of the slide on the Springfield, some serrations on the front. Same thing is on the 6 Sauer. However, again, whenever it comes to aggression on the 6 Sauer, the serrations are much more defined, so they're much more grippier. It's much easier to get the grip on these serrations compared to the ones on the Springfield. The Springfield overall is just much smoother, softer, no, not softer, smoother, all right? Smoother, slicker gun compared to the 6 Sauer, which I mean, I don't really mind, but I do like to have a little bit of aggression on the grip for better grip, on the slide for faster, for, you know, in case if your hands are, I don't know, covered in oil, whatever you the hell, your lotion. If your hands are covered in lotion, whatever you're doing and your hands were covered in lotion, you want a little bit more aggression to have a good grip. Okay, let's talk about the sights now. Again, I'm gonna put them together. You will see that they're very similar at the front. They're practically the same. I mean, if that's not the same size, I don't even know what is. Check this out. Very, very similar sides at the front. Just a little bit of brighter yellow color on the Hellcat and green on the Sig Sauer, but they're very, very similar. Now the back is where the difference is. Now Hellcat decided to go with this round U-shape kind of rear sight. Personally, I'm not a fan of it. I prefer the 3-dot sight, 3-post sight a little bit more compared to this one. So let's do some more shooting. We got Steve DeVille over here. Steve, you want to say hello on camera? So Steve is a legend. He's my mentor on a lot of things.
Hi, how you doing?
This is
Steve DeVille.
This is for my Firearms of America YouTube channel.
Oh, that's
yeah,
right.
I'm doing the comparison.
That's
and my daughter's over here. Check this out.
Hi, how you doing?
I just want to say hi. She's very shy.
Yeah.
Well, she's not shy anymore.
Not shy anymore. She looks like she's gonna cry.
It's actually her birthday. She just turned 12. Like,
Oh, happy birthday.
like 12 minutes. Adelina, you hear us? You're gonna cry. I don't know
Nah.
if you hear us. Maybe not. So yes, Steve is legendary. He has his office over here, and he does concealed carry training. Whether you need a D license, G license, a security officer, if you're familiar with that. Steve DeVillo, you want to say your phone number so that people can call you if you want, if they need to? If you're in
Yeah, the name of the company is DeVillo and Associates, DeVillo's Firearms Training Academy, 3310 Hanson Street in Fort Myers, Florida. Get in touch with me, 239-229-1126. Anytime, call me. Thank you.
Yeah, and I personally got a D and a G license with the help of Steve over here. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. Yes, sir. All right, so let's do some 5 more rounds on both of these handguns, and then we'll try to come up with a more or less reasonable conclusion and see which one. Honestly, I think for me, it has to be the Sig Sauer. Just a little bit more aggressive on the grip, which I do prefer. I do prefer more aggressive grip. As you guys know, I really like the hand stippled handguns, just because to me that's the optimal aggression whenever it comes to the grip, specifically the raindrop, if you're familiar with stippling. I do like the sides a little bit better on the Sig, just a little bit more intuitive. Overall, the shape, the ergonomics of the grip a little bit better. The trigger, I would say, on the Sig Sauer, I prefer a little bit more, but overall, honestly, at the end of the day, whatever option you're picking, they're both great, they're both reliable, the recoil, very manageable on both of them, which is surprising for a 3.1 inch barrels. That's pretty good. The sights are both great on both of them. There are a little bit more options, more variety whenever it comes to the handguns overall. For example, whenever it comes to the Hellcat. As you can see, this one is OSP, which stands for their optics something Peter, I don't know. But basically the optic system, if you want to put the red dot, your MOS, that's what it is, MOS. I don't know why they decided to go with OSP. But I got 5 rounds in both of these handguns. You know what, let's do the flippy pedals and see which handgun will allow me to hit more flippy pedals. I'll start with the Springfield this time. Let's see, it's gonna be funny if the Springfield's gonna beat the Sig Sauer at the end after saying all this. All right, let's see. Okay, we got 3 on the Springfield. Let's Sig Sauer, don't let me down. Well, that's kind of embarrassing. So, as you can see, it's not guns, it's really me being a terrible shot over here. I just ruined Steve's reputation. He was teaching me how to shoot and I can't freaking shoot. Anyway, at the end of the day, like I said, both of the handguns are pretty good. Surprisingly, I was much more accurate with the Hellcat. I do like the Hellcat name. Yes, that's a great name. And also you have to keep in mind that this does come with a 13 plus 1 compared to the Sig Sauer's 12 plus 1. Also, as you can see, this magazine right here, it has an extension. So overall grip, just the grip size itself is smaller. Is smaller compared to the Sig Sauer. So if you do implement the magazine on this one without the base, the extension, just a base plate, is going to be less rounds in it, but you're going to have an overall smaller gun. So let me know in the comments below, guys, what do you think would be your vote? Which one would you pick out of these two? As you can see, this video turned out pretty eventful. We have my daughter over here. She's still patiently watching this live review that I'm doing in front of her. We had Steve give us a visit, unexpected visit. If you guys are in the area, if you are in Southwest Florida, make sure to stop by the shooters. Mr. Cody is over here on this side of the building, and Steve is right next door. So your concealed carry classes, your whatever you need, whenever it comes to the firearms, you can definitely find it here. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. I always appreciate your tuning in, you watching my videos. Let me know if you want to see anything specific. I'll see you guys in the next video. All right. I'm going to repair. Well, what kind of project were you doing? Huh? What kind of project are you doing? You need some help or something?
No, I'm just going to try to get this. They keep shooting the cable down.
Oh, jeez, really?
Yeah, I keep trying to replace this. So I got a bigger cable this time.
Nice.
Yeah, I had a small cable and it just don't last, so I gotta shoot it off.
Yeah. I'll help you with the installation. Let me turn off my camera.